So what do I mean by attunement or sensitivity to the ethical salience of a situation? Well, attunement is about being able to understand, to feel what's going on in a context, and to recognize there's something important here. In both of the situations I described, the son sort of botching his haircut and the dad asking for cleaning of his son's room, both of these matter to the people involved. But it takes a sensitivity on the person entering the situation, you as the dad in the haircut scenario, you as the housekeeper in the cleaning scenario. It takes work to recognize that there is something very significant happening here. And so our attunement is about our perceptive ability, are able to sense in a situation that there is something really important here, that this is not just about applying rules or reacting in a very formal kind of way. It's really about being sensitive to some dynamics in the situation that require kind of applying more than simply our reasoning minds. Okay? So that's what attunement looks like. The second thing about character that I want to talk about is this idea of internalization of higher purpose. Nowhere in the job description of a housekeeper in most health systems does it say that you should be providing compassionate care to patients of young children or young people who are ill. And yet, when a housekeeper is trying to figure out how to react to the dad, understanding the deeper purpose of healthcare is going to be crucially important. You could take a rule-based approach to responding and say, well, the rule is I have to clean every person's room once. I've already cleaned that room. Your reaction to the dad could be, what are you talking about? I've already cleaned the room. What would the consequence of that be? It might invite an argument with the dad. It might make the dad feel bad. There might be some tension that results in this. In the real story that's described in the article that you see with this paper, the housekeeper thought through in that moment what was going on, recognized that yes, he's already cleaned the room, but was sensitive to the pain of the father, understood the significance of the caregiving experience for the father, and simply said, okay, sir, I'll clean the room again. And he went in and cleaned the room again. Here, in that reaction, if that's your reaction, and in the reaction of the person in the case study in the article I've shared, the housekeeper understood that while his job was about cleaning the room, he was part of an activity whose deeper purpose was advancing the well-being of the people who are requiring support, patients and family members. And understanding that that deeper purpose to serve people who are suffering and in need was really what should matter in responding to the scenario. And it was that internalization of higher purpose that led him to react in that kind of way. If we don't have that internalization of higher purpose, then we could narrowly discuss whether the room was cleaned or not, but we may undermine the deeper meaning of the activity that we're engaged in. So understanding deeper purpose is tied to intention. When you enter in a situation, what is your intention? Is it simply to survive the moment? Is it to try to achieve some self-serving goal? Is it to try to be a good person? Or is it actually to achieve a higher end that you're involved in the activity you're participating in? The intention we bring into an ethically salient situation is crucially important and tied to our understanding of the deeper purpose of the activity that we're involved in. And this is going to be just as true when it comes to dealing with our son, who's got the splotches. Because yes, it's the case that we could simply be honest and say it looks bad or it doesn't look bad. But really what's going on in a parenting experience is that we're trying to help, or one way of looking at the purpose of parenting is to build the capacity of our children to flourish, to face life's challenges, and do well through them. And if that's the purpose, then we can ask ourselves, how can I show up in a way that will best allow the achievement of that purpose? So intention and internalized purpose of the ends of the activity are crucial parts of character. Another really important part of character is understanding our connection to other people and recognizing that our interests are not the only interests that matter in a situation, that the interests of others appropriately become more important in many situations, and acting from a sense of humility. When it's the case that I'm trying to look after my son in deciding how to deal with his hair, or whether I'm or reacting to his haircut, or whether I'm deciding on how to react to this father who's asking for his room cleaned, I need to be able to take the perspective of the other. I need to be able to open my heart and my mind to understand what the experience of the other person is looking like. And this is a heart capacity. It's the ability of our hearts to be open enough to see the experience of the world from the perspective of another person. That perspective taking is a very, very important element of what it means to bring our hearts to the situations that we experience. And we're going to talk, as I mentioned, about emotional intelligence in the ethical literacy section on pluralism. But here it's important to recognize that the emotional experience, the emotional intelligence we bring is also part of perspective taking. Perspective taking is about opening our hearts to see what must it be like to feel, or what must it feel like for others to be in the situation that we're talking about. Emotional wisdom is a very important part of character. One is able to rely on one's sensitivity to the emotional experience of ourselves and others and react to that in a way that is constructive and supportive, compassionate and empathetic, that allows us in the moment to process our feelings. I'm being accused of not cleaning the room. I'm probably feeling scared and maybe a bit angry and judged. To process that and then to still react in a nimble way that allows me to live up to the higher purpose of the activity. So that emotional wisdom is a very important part of character and the character we bring to these situations.